One of the harshest ecosystems on the planet would be the Arabian Desert, where summer days see scorching temperatures of 40 degrees Celsius, and during winter nights, the temperature can even cross -25. The animals that live here call these dunes and rocks their home, are fully equipped with everything that can help them out in the extreme climate. But one of these desert residents is what you could call a small one that you may not have seen or heard of much. It's called the sand cat. They may look like house cats, but these beige beauties are the only cats to live primarily in the desert, and they're fully built to handle its extremes. But how do they do that? Sand cats are little desert inhabitants that weigh between 3.3 and 7.5 pounds. Their bodies are 15 to 20 inches long, with a tail that adds another 9 to 12 inches. They have a shoulder height of 9.4 to 14.2 inches. This is around the size of a domestic house cat, though house cats are often bigger, weighing between 9 and 11 pounds. Sand cats have short legs, a broad head, large eyes and a long tail. Their ears are larger than those of other tiny cat species. Their ear canals are twice the size of a domestic cat's, allowing approximately 5 times the amount of sound to enter their ears. They use their extraordinary hearing to detect the subtle scratching sounds of small rodents underground. Their fur can be pale sandy brown to grey-brown. They are darker on their backs and paler on their bellies, and sometimes have striped legs. The lower half of their face and their chest are white or pale yellow. A red streak runs from the corner of their eyes across their cheeks. Their ears and tails are black-tipped, and they have a few black rings near the tip of their tails. The scientific name of the sand cat is Felis margarita. It was named after French General Jean-Auguste Marguerite, who led an expedition to Algeria in 1858 and discovered the cat. It belongs to the Felidae family of the Mammalia class. Another common name for this species is the sand dune cat. In the past, 4 subspecies of sand cat were recognized. Today, 2 subspecies have been proposed but need further research before being accepted by the scientific community. One is called Felis margarita margarita, that is a small species with a yellow-beige fur, and the other one is called Felis margarita thenobia, which is a larger Asian species with more of a greyer fur. This species has an unusual adaptation in that it has long, dense hair developing between the pads of its feet, creating a cushion of fur to let it walk on hot, shifting sand without burning or sinking. This also means that their tracks are practically invisible, making them difficult to track in the field by biologists. Now that's something pretty interesting about these cats, but what's more interesting is their atypical behavior in the desert. Sand cats are known in the desert as the cat that digs holes. They enjoy digging, both to build burrows and to unearth rodents tunneling beneath the sand. They do not exist in regions where the soil is compacted. Their claws do not retract completely. The front claws are short and sharp, making them ideal for hunting, whereas the back claws are tiny and flat, making them ideal for digging. Sand cats seek refuge in underground tunnels beneath a sand dune or bush during the hot desert days. They will occasionally use another animal's empty burrow, including that of other sand cats, but will not sleep with another cat. Sand cats will sometimes rest outside on their backs to expel heat from their chests and bellies when they grow overheated. And not just that, but sand cats are nocturnal. After dark, they sit by their den opening and use their senses to survey the surrounding area for about 15 minutes. They spend the evening hunting and can travel long distances in search of prey. Typically, they roam about 3.4 miles each night. When they return to their den in the morning, they perform the same 15-minute vigil before going to bed when the sun comes up. They have a distinct running pattern in which they can go at a quick pace with their bellies near to the ground and occasionally leap. They can sprint at speeds ranging from 19 to 25 miles per hour. This is less than domestic cats, which have longer legs and can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. Because of their nearly invisible tracks, their habit of meticulously burying their feces in the sand, and their clever behavior of closing their eyes when a light is shone on them at night so that their eyes do not reflect in the darkness, biologists have some difficulty studying sand cats in the wild. Yet, sand cats in some locations are not afraid of humans and reportedly can even be picked up out of their dens without defending themselves. Sand cats can be tamed easily and are often sold as pets in North Africa and the Middle East. However, when taken to colder and more humid countries, they need to be vaccinated and kept in heated indoor facilities to combat respiratory infections. As a wild species, their natural instincts are stronger and their behavior may be more unpredictable than a domestic cat. Capturing cats for the pet trade threatens their continued viability in the wild. It is preferable to enjoy these animals in zoos that are equipped to give them optimal conditions. Apart from that, sand cats are solitary animals with a very low population and make use of a loud mating call, much like the barking of a small dog. The loud barking combined with excellent hearing enables these cats to find each other over great distances. Other vocalizations include mewing, growling, spitting, hissing, screaming and purring, much as in domestic cats. But where exactly do these cats prefer to live, and what do they normally eat or hunt for? The sand cats like to live on rolling desert terrain with grasses and small bushes where there is more prey, rather than in dry, changing sand dunes. Daytime temperatures in desert settings where moisture is scarce can exceed 124 degrees Fahrenheit. There is little humidity or cloud cover to retain heat at night, and the temperature drops as low as 31 degrees Fahrenheit after nightfall. Sand cats' bodies and behaviors are adapted to withstand these harsh circumstances. The animals' bodies have several adaptations to help them stay cool during the scorching day and prevent heat loss in the freezing cold. Their light fur color enables them to blend in with their environment and helps to prevent them from absorbing too much heat during the day. The thick coat also keeps them warm during the cold desert nights. Additionally, sand cats have dense hair between their toes and over the pads of their feet. This hair insulates their paws from the hot ground. Sand cats live in isolated areas of North Africa, Arabia, and other Middle Eastern countries and Central Asia. Sand cats were first discovered in southern Israel and Jordan in the late 1980s, but have been presumed extinct in that region since 2002, owing mostly to agricultural growth. Attempts to re-establish them in that area have so far been unsuccessful. Sand cats are predators of birds, insects, rabbits, and tiny rodents like jerboas and gerbils. They are also vicious snake killers preying on venomous vipers. They kill this deadly prey by stunning it with fast knocks to the head before pouncing on it with a lethal neck bite. They hunt at night, slinking low to the ground and listening for any faint sounds made by their prey. They dig up their prey as soon as they detect burrowing sounds. If a kill is too huge to consume all at once, they'll cover it with sand and return to feed later. Cool, right? But there's a lot more to know about the insane biology of these amazing animals, such as their reproduction, babies, and lifespan. As said before, sand cats are isolated creatures that live in huge groups across a large territory. They have a powerful mating cry that can sound like a little barking dog to help them find other cats across long distances. Otherwise, they communicate in the same way as domestic cats do. They also use urine, smells, and scratch marks to establish territory. Sand cat breeding seasons vary depending on location, environment, and resources. It normally lasts from January until April in the Sahara. They may reproduce more than once a year in captivity. Sand cats have a reproductive period of 59 to 67 days. They can have 1 to 8 kittens, although the average litter size is 2 to 4. At birth, kittens weigh around an ounce, or about the weight of a slice of bread. Their eyes open at 2 weeks, and they ingest solid food for the first time at 5 weeks. At 3 to 4 months, they may strike out on their own and are sexually mature at 9 to 14 months. And when it comes to knowing about their predators, threats, and conservation status, then this is what we should know. Although poisonous snakes are stalked and killed by sandcats, these hazardous reptiles are also one of their principal predators. Other dangers include jackals, big owls, caracals, and wolves. Domestic and wild cats and dogs attack them as well, competing for the same prey and spreading diseases. Additional threats are the introduction of feral and domestic dogs and cats, creating direct competition for prey, predation, and disease transmission. This applies particularly along roads through suitable habitat. Sandcats in the area may be threatened by the pet trade. There have been stories of sandcats being shot in Saudi Arabia on occasion. They are not considered a threat to poultry in Algeria, nor are they captured to be sold as pets. Sandcats, according to Tubu nomads living northwest of Lake Chad, are frequent chicken thieves who enter their camp in the evenings. But can you keep these cats as pets at home? Sandcats are not suitable for home living, which may disappoint cat lovers. So no, you should not keep a sandcat as a pet because it's not the healthiest environment for these animals and may be illegal. According to Big Cat Rescue, 35 states have prohibited the ownership of large cats as pets. Only 6 states in the United States do not prohibit or restrict the ownership of large cats as pets: Alabama, Nevada, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Delaware, and Oklahoma. And while the sandcat isn't as massive as a cheetah or a lion, it may be considered a big cat by some. It's also widely regarded as an exotic species, making it unsuitable for pet ownership. One of the reasons that sandcats do not make a good or excellent pet is due to their aggressive temperament, which makes it quite difficult to domesticate them. Additionally, it is very difficult to provide for them, and one needs to have extensive training on how to take care of wild animals in order to keep them. These cats should be provided with a wide living area containing sand and rock to resemble their natural environment. If you're thinking of getting one, maybe you should first consider all of the aspects that we listed before. So in light of everything that we've said so far, it is safe to say that the sandcats have adapted to survive in some of the world's most harsh environmental conditions, but they are now constantly threatened by human expansion into their specialized habitat. Even though they can withstand daily high temperature fluctuations and weeks without water, they're unable to withstand the unfavorable changes caused by human agriculture and development across their area. More field research is required to precisely identify sandcat population size and necessary habitat for survival. We risk endangering the only feline species that lives in our planet's hostile deserts unless we take immediate effort to better comprehend this fascinating, charming mesocarnivore. Now let's have a quick fun fact session about the sandcat, or the king of the desert. Sandcats can survive for weeks without water. Sounds a bit strange, right? But it's true. The sandcat lives in places with less than 20 millimeters of rain each year. However, the lack of water does not bother them because they can go for weeks without drinking a drop. They acquire their hydration from the moisture of their prey. When water is accessible, which isn't very often, they will drink it. These cats travel extensively. News isn't the only thing that travels fast, the sandcat does too. These cats are capable of traveling vast distances in a short amount of time, roughly 5 to 10 kilometers in one night. Sandcats are not very proficient at jumping or climbing, but they are incredibly swift. They have a top speed of 40 kilometers an hour. Before leaving its den for its nighttime hunts, the sandcat stops at the den's entrance and scans the surroundings for a few moments. When it returns at daybreak, it conducts the same survey. This survey is most likely being conducted to keep an eye out for predators and other potential threats. Sandcats can bark. Like the domestic cat, a sandcat can make meowing, hissing, purring, and growling sounds like other small cats. But its vocalization range extends to barking too. they can produce a high-pitched barking sound like small domestic dogs do. They use this barking sound more during mating season to signal their location to prospective mates. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for keeping up with the insane biology of the sandcat with us. If you enjoyed diving into the science behind the life of these desert habitants, don't miss out on more captivating content about the interesting stuff of this planet. Subscribe now to stay tuned for more scientific marvels.